Aloha, I'm Generational Master Beekeeper Darren Olson, and no, I'm not the greatest orator, but I am the most passionate about honeybees. I'd like to share with you some of my experience about being a beekeeper before you become a beekeeper. Why am I doing this? Because we're all in this together. Your honeybees in one state may get diseases and affect my honeybees all the way in Hawaii, because bees share diseases and nature happens. I do want you to be the best master beekeeper you can be before you become a beekeeper. So I'm sharing with you my one advice. Read, read, read. Read about honeybees before becoming a beekeeper. That's the best thing you can do. Read. Not Facebook, not even YouTube with me, or Instagram or Snapchat. You need to read about honeybees so that you too can become a master beekeeper. So let me share a little bit more about myself. That my dad was in charge as the president of the Cook-to-Page Beekeepers Association, and he would share with new beekeepers how to keep honeybees alive, how to overwinter, and how to take care of bees against the diseases that were hitting. So he would help beekeepers monthly and help them so that they could take care of honeybees properly. That's the next part of advice. Before buying any honeybees, join your local Beekeepers Association. You'll get to know the beekeepers in your area and how best to take care of honeybees before buying your bees. Next, I have another question, and I'm not being a purist, and I do want you to support your local beekeepers in your area, but have you considered taking care of worms before taking care of bees? Worms are vital also. They are our decomposers. They take care of the soil in order to have healthy flowers and plants. If you take care of worms, then you'll know some of the less desirable work of being a beekeeper, and that you have to get your hands dirty. Taking care of worms is also easier than being a beekeeper. Worms don't sting, and in general, they stay in one place in the soil. Honeybees, on the other hand, have a much broader range and sting. If you're afraid of honeybees or afraid of even this video of bees, please consider not becoming a beekeeper, especially if you are allergic. No matter how much I take care of my honeybee suit, when I take it off, there may be a bee somewhere in my car, which happens all the time. So it's easy to get stung by a honeybee if you're a beekeeper. If you're allergic, please consider not being a beekeeper. Before getting any of your honeybee hives, research all the laws in your area for state, county, city, and even your neighborhood. If you're in a homeowners association, more than likely you won't be able to keep honeybees. So take care of your honeybees before even buying them by researching all of the honeybees' needs. Next, if all the flowering plants in your area is just one bush, that is not enough food for honeybees. You need to know that there is enough food in a 2-mile-ish area for each beehive, so that the bees have enough food to eat. If you join a beekeepers association, they're likely able to help answer most of these questions. Before you buy one beehive, plan to be able to have 20 beehives in that yard. You won't have 20 to begin with, hopefully, when you're learning, but plan not to have just one beehive. It's easier to learn with a handful of beehives so that you know what is working and what isn't. Bees in general live in small yard communities. It's part of their external immune system. Bees will have a few hives or colonies in one area because that helps them in their natural defenses. One beehive is much more likely to die because it is not supported by other honeybee communities. Do you think being a beekeeper is cool? No, I'll tell you, being a beekeeper is not that cool. It is hot. We do manual labor carrying heavy equipment and heavy beehives. One short story is that we were taking, my dad and I, honeybee hives to a pumpkin patch in order to pollinate the pumpkins, and they weighed 200 to 300 pounds, each of these mature honeybee hives. And I was 13 years old, and we would carry them on the fields. The one rule about that is don't drop the beehives. They would not be happy no matter what. So honeybees are an extremely important work for us to have food and flowers in order to pollinate them. We need honeybees, and we need healthy honeybees. We need you, if you're going to become a beekeeper, to do it for the right reasons. If all you want is a sugar supply, it's easy to buy sweeteners of agave or sugar or maple syrup. Those are easy things that don't move. Before becoming a beekeeper, know why it is you want to be a beekeeper. Make sure you have enough time and energy before becoming a beekeeper. Taking care of honeybees is a time commitment. Make sure you're ready to put in not only the work, but have the resources, time and energy in order to take care of honeybees. If they live or die, you still need to take care of them so that disease is not spread to other bees.